The following is a presentation of the Carolina Sports Link. Joining us now for his weekly conversation with us here on the Sports Link, the head football coach of the Charlotte 49ers, Brad Lambert. And Coach, coming off of a pretty impressive Conference USA victory against Old Dominion last week. You now stand at 2-1 as you head to UMass for your first road game, 3:30 Saturday up in Amherst. You got to feel good the way things are progressing the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I've been proud of the guys, especially last week because of the hurricane. You know, we had a shortened week and, you know, weren't sure when we were going to play the game. And so I was really proud of the staff and the players, you know, how they just, you know, kept their focus and, you know, prepared as well as we could. You know, both teams had a shortened week. And so, you know, pleased with the way we're, you know, making some first downs and converting third downs and then getting off the field on third down. So we're still giving up too many big plays on defense. We got to, you know, make sure we're, you know, doing a good job of tackling and limiting big plays. But for the most part, really proud of the guys, how they're preparing right now.
When you look at last week's game, you got the notice that you were going to be playing on Thursday at 4 o'clock. That's normally a practice day for you guys. What was it like? How did you go about getting the kids ready to play a game when they normally would be practicing?
Yeah, we got that call early Wednesday morning, so we really had to adjust Wednesday's practice. So we tried to fold Wednesday and Thursday, a normal Wednesday and Thursday practice into one practice. And it's the first time, Mojo, that I've ever really went that full the day before a game. You know, we did a full practice on Wednesday and then played the game on Thursday. We didn't stay in the hotel. We didn't do all of our normal stuff, but like I say, you know, the kids really just prepared, and I thought the coaches did a nice job with that Wednesday practice of, you know, having the guys ready for certain situations. You know, you're always trying to practice situations, and I thought they did a nice job of that, getting them ready. But it was tough because, you know, we didn't find out till really Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. that we're gonna, you know, all of a sudden go on Thursday. So it was we had to speed everything up, and that's really what we had to do.
Coach, just a quick note on the old U game. Anyone that knows me knows I don't deal with hyperbole, and when I give a compliment, it's usually warranted. What impressed me about that game, your redshirt freshman quarterback, Chris Reynolds, when you were down 18-13 in that game in the second half, he came out there and showed so much poise and just answered that, you know, with the drive to put you back ahead for good for the rest of the game. Last 2 years, you wouldn't have gotten that out of the quarterback position. You have to be impressed with the way he's progressing as a redshirt freshman through the first 3 games.
Yeah, I think, Mojo, you're right on. That was a big step for him, you know, because they came out of the locker room, went right down the field. We didn't play real well defensively on that drive, and they scored. And in the past, you know, we struggled in that situation. And so I think that was a big step for him. You know, and we ran the ball. We kept the down and distance manageable, but we made some plays in that drive that, you know, I think it was a 12 or 13 play drive, took up a lot of time. It was one of those 7-minute drives, and all of a sudden there was really only 3 drives in the third quarter. But you're exactly right. That was a big step for him and spoke volumes to me about his composure and handling situations and adversity. So hopefully that will, you know, really help us moving forward as we go, and he gets his first road game this week.
Yeah, that leads me to my next question. We're talking with Brad Lambert, head football coach of the Charlotte 49ers, his weekly conversation with us here on the Sports Link. Redshirt freshman, first road game in college football tends to be adventurous, to be kind. You've got not only your quarterback, but a pretty prominent wide receiver in Victor Tucker, your kicker, Jonathan Cruz. How do you prepare these kids? Does the 3 games at home kind of help you get them ready for this first road test?
I think so, and I think the 3-game homestand had a chance for them to get a little confidence about themselves, and we won 2 of them, so that was big because you're going to need that confidence when you go on the road. I mean, the guys have done a really good job of preparing, you know, kind of staying in that one day at a time mode, and so hopefully that preparation will lead to good things on the road for the first time and the confidence of the first 3 games. But you're right, there's some young guys in there that it's the first time they've gotten on a plane, you know, and went to somebody else's stadium. So they're going to have to, maintain their composure and their focus on the road.
When you look at this week's opponent, UMass, they've lost 3 in a row on the road. They're back home for you guys this week. This is a team kind of in the same position they were last year. They started out really poorly, then they got it together, won a bunch of games at the end of the year. You kind of got to knock them while they're down right now as you go there to their place for your first road game.
Yeah, Mojo, they're a scary team because when you turn on last year's video of them playing at Mississippi State, who at that time was ranked 16th in the country, and they're going toe-to-toe with them on the road. And then they go out to BYU and beat them on the road. This is a dangerous team. I mean, it's a talented team. They got a lot of guys back off of last year's team, got experience at the quarterback position. So they're more than capable. They've been on the road for 3 weeks, and they're a team that they have high goals for themselves, and they're looking at this game. They're going to come out on fire. So we're going to have to be on point. We have to really be focused and not give up big plays, and then try to generate some big plays special teams wise, I think, to help get us over the hump in this game, because it's a good football team we're getting ready to play Saturday.
Yeah, when you look at them offensively, I mean, they're averaging 41 points per game. Both their quarterbacks still got knocked out of the game against FIU. Do you prepare for one or the other, or how do you guys go about preparing for that high-powered offense?
Well, I think they'll, either one of those guys, and really the 13 guy that came in against FIU played well for them. They moved the ball in the second half. I think that the trick for them is they've got a really big offensive line, and I really like their running back. He's a really good player. So containing the run game, which we've done pretty well through 3 games, is going to have to be where we hang our hat again this week and not let them get out. And then they've got a wideout in Isabella who's just a big play guy. They try to create ways for him to get behind you. He's really fast, really experienced. So they got fifth-year seniors kind of everywhere. With that big offensive line, they create some problems for you. So defense, we're going to have to limit the big play, that's for sure. You
mentioned Andy Isabella, the redshirt senior wide receiver, averaging over 90 yards in receptions during the first 4 games of their season. But you played against Corey Sutton of App State, and there's not many that are better than Corey Sutton. So does that prepare you to face a kid like Isabella?
I think so. They use him a little bit different. They'll hand him the ball on the speed sweep. They'll use double moves. But you're right. Corey's, the same type of speed guy. Corey's just a lot taller. Corey's a lot, longer. Andy's more of he's more of a slot, hand the ball to him, those type of things, on the reverses. He can get away from you, but he's extremely fast. He'll be as fast as Sutton, I believe.
Coach Juwan Foggy says that your new defensive coordinator, Glenn Spencer, has been preaching creating turnovers. This is a UMass team that has had a propensity, first 4 games, to turn it over. Is this the week that you guys kind of take it pedal to the metal and try to create those turnovers that Juwan and your defensive coordinator, Coach Spencer, have been preaching for the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, you want to come out on the positive side every week on a turnover margin, and I think that'll be a key factor in today's game. You've got to create turnovers on the defensive side. Try to take the ball away and try to knock it out if you can. That'll be a big part of winning the games, if we can win the turnover margin, take care of it on offense. So our issue's been, our punt returner hasn't done well. Through the first 3 games, we've turned it over twice, and that's something that we've worked hard on this week. We've got to eliminate that.
All right. On that note, besides the turnover battle, Coach, your 3:30 kickoff in Amherst at McGurk Alumni Stadium. Keys for Coach Lambert to bring the 49ers back home on Saturday night at 3-1 on the season.
I think the number one thing in this game shouldn't be limited big plays. They got a big play offense, and I think we're going to have to hold up in the secondary, not limit big play. I mean, we're going to have to limit big plays, and then the other thing is stopping the run. We're going to have to stop the run, limit what they can do running the ball, because that's when they really get you going, is when they're running the ball. They did that well against Mississippi State last year. So I really think we got to, try to contain the run game. And then on the other side of the ball, we got to continue to do what we've been doing, and that's put together sustained drives, do well on third down. We need to play better in the red zone and punch some of those in for touchdowns in order for us to win on the road.
Coach, best of luck to you this Saturday, 3:30 up in Amherst as you take on the UMass Minutemen. Get the job done. Bring Niner Nation home, a 3-1 record, and no sneaking off to the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's a business trip.
That's right. Thanks, Mojo. We appreciate you, buddy.
All right, Coach. Good luck to you. Stay healthy, and we'll talk to you next week. This has been a presentation of the Carolina Sports Link, your link to Carolina sports.